Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Not in My Lifetime podcast, episode 20. We've actually hit episode 20 on the podcast without actually quitting early. So I think that's a good achievement from all three of us here. But yeah, before we carry on and get on to the actual two games, how you both doing before we start?
All right, mate. You?
Yeah, can't complain.
Good myself. Exactly. I mean, it's been pretty much just games, really. I mean, obviously, the occasional, stuff behind the scenes, that kind of stuff. Obviously, the last two games, we'll go into and discuss the reaction, all that kind of stuff about them. I mean, obviously, there's been a few stuff about obviously Edison and Alvarez. I think De Bruyne is it's a little bit quieter on that front. I'd say that's probably going to be a fine one. I think he's staying De Bruyne anyway, but Edison, Alvarez still up in the air still, I'd say. But it's been a bit more about the games of anything, which is quite refreshing, rather than just players constantly leaving. So I think we'll start with the Celtic game before we go into the Milan one. I mean, yeah, we lost 4-3, but I'm not sitting here caring about the result at all of either game, really. I care more about the fact that we saw some good performances from players. I think, obviously, as the title says, Oscar Bobb. I mean, this guy really, I know it's pre-season, but the way he started this season, pre-season, and going into the season starts, he really is showing a lot of what he's not already playing with the team. I really hope we give him a chance this season, for real go of it, like a few starts at some games, because I think having him, Savio, and Doku, and even Grealish as well on the wings, brilliant options. I mean, before I carry on, that's lyrical. Oscar Bobb, thoughts?
I'll be brutally honest. I haven't watched a single minute of pre-season. I haven't even seen a single goal we've scored or conceded. I couldn't give a shit about pre-season.
Okay.
To be honest, but it's a great start. End the pod. But I've said it about Oscar Bobb since I first saw him play. Like, what more needs to be said? The guy's got a limitless ceiling, and he could be. And I've said it before. I'll say it again. I think he's the best talent City have produced since Phil Foden. So that's his ceiling sky high, and the guy just he's going to keep getting better. And he's only going to keep getting better if we keep nurturing him in exactly the same way that we've nurtured Phil Foden. Because he's going to get minutes. He's going to get minutes, and he's going to get opportunities, and he's going to get chances. He just needs to take those chances when he gets them. And like you say, look, it's pre-season, but he's taking the chances. And he came on. The last time I saw him play properly was against United in the FA Cup final when he came on. And he made a good go of it. Good attempt, good little cameo. But every time I've seen him, he's done something. He's added that little bit of energy. I mean, you've only got to look as far as Newcastle away last season. Tells you everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's looked good pre-season. Last week I mentioned I was a bit worried about what would happen with Bob when Savinio signed. I think he's taken that himself. It's taken it as a reason to get better, prove himself. And why shouldn't he get more game time? He's proven himself already. He's had a lot of good moments last season. And there's no reason why he shouldn't be starting games next season.
Exactly. Big up Citizens fan cast. We're meant to be on with him this week, but obviously he's currently watching City right now, which is awesome. I'm really pleased for him and some of the boys to be able to go out and see team obviously in America. Hope you guys are having a good time out there, and cheers obviously popping in and saying hi to us. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the game tonight, lad. All right, at Barcelona. But yeah, I mean, I watched the second game obviously because I did a watch along for it, but the first one Celtic, I kind of just had to highlight it because I wasn't watching the whole game. I had to go to work next day. But from what I've watched of it, I mean, defensively, I don't really care because Simpson, Pusey, and Mbete. Mbete for me isn't good enough way. I think he should go anyway. He's not a bad player. I just don't think he's good enough to get into the team. Because if Harald Bellis isn't getting into this team, and Callum Moore's good by the way, and isn't getting this team, then Mbete isn't better than them two. So I don't know why he's still there personally. I know it might sound a bit of a negative opinion. I'm seeing it from him personally, but defensively, I wasn't really concerned. I think Rico Lewis has been a really good so far. I mean, Alex, if you ever do watch it at some point, Rico actually has been playing pretty well from what I've seen of him. He's been quite at 19.
He ended up front as well. He was false.
Yeah, centre forward did a very good job. The guy
surprised me, the Pep team.
But the guy has a lot of maturity for his age, and that's what I love about him. Like he isn't even 20 years old, and he has a level of maturity that, like, I'm not saying I think eventually he'll be that kind of player, but obviously it has a lot of alarm. You play right back, DM, can play a lot of different positions. I think that's a brilliant player to have in our team. Obviously, he's still got a long way to go before he gets to that anyone at that level, but when you watch him play and the way he can score a goal, get an assist, do dribbling for a few players, he's a brilliant player. I think having him and Oscar Bobb in this squad is brilliant because it means that we finally got two players that we don't have to replace them with and sell them down the line. We've got two players for now who can come in the squad. So it means that there's less pressure on us getting another forward player right now. I think for me, apart from maybe a midfielder, I don't really feel like we need to get anyone really because the squad itself is doing enough. I think Rico deserves the opportunity to prove himself in this team, as does Oscar. I was to the point where I was going to sign 2 or 3 more players for the sake of it. But yeah, I'm just really,
I can't really argue with that. But Lewis defensively still needs a bit of work. I think he needs to get a bit bigger. He has to have more of a physical presence. But he has played well pre-season. He's put some good tackles in. He's proven himself as a defender. So give him a bit more chance in the Premier League and just see what he's capable of.
Absolutely.
I think Rico's the same as Bob. I don't think his ceiling's quite as high as Oscar Bobb's.
It's a different type of player, though, isn't he?
Yeah, of course. I mean, in terms of the young talent, I think Rico's up there. Of course he is.
Absolutely.
Well, he has to be.
Underrated. Yeah. Underrated player, Rico. Underrated. I think by a lot of the fan base.
He should be getting a lot more call-ups for England. Rico.
He's willing to play anywhere as well, isn't he? As proven by the fact you just said he's playing up front. He's willing to play anywhere.
Yeah, he'll do a shift for you. He probably won't get a lot of goals playing as a false 9, but he'll do a good job for you.
No, but it's nice though because it means that there's no pressure on us to have to go and sign another player. We've got players who have got the experience ready to go in this team now, and both of them have proved themselves in Europe anyway as well. So there's nothing they're scared of. I mean, Bob for Norway right now with Haaland in the first team. We've got Rico who's been in the England team a couple of times and played with them. So they both of them need experience. They're both experienced enough as it is. So I'm just happy that we've got 2 players in the squad that haven't got to rely on like selling or loan to get. We've got them ready made for the right now. Which when you look at someone like, I mean, I'll go back to Callum Doyle because I think Callum Doyle's a good defender. I think him and Howard Bellis from the same kind of level. They're both very, very good centre backs for their age and how good they are, obviously, where they are in the pecking order. But I think Callum Doyle isn't going to play for us, sadly. I mean, that's a shame because but we've got 2 centre backs as it is right now. I think if we get money from this summer and maybe a deal with a clause, I'll do it absolutely because I think the guy deserves to be playing week in, week out, not on our reserves doing nothing. He needs to be playing out, I think, a permanent deal this summer to a Premiership or Premier League team, possibly like a Ipswich or whatever, whoever needs him.
Is Howard Bellis at Southampton?
A permanent, with a clause, buy back and also pay on. So, but if someone does go and he gets better and better, I might probably get him back. But if not, either there for us if we'll get back at some point.
You wouldn't brilliant. So thing is, we wouldn't sell him if he was ever going to be like our level. He's not going to be John Stones, is he?
No, but he's doing very well though. Yeah, he's doing very well. So. But
I've always
that's the reason why we put the clauses in transfer, though, isn't it? Just in case.
Just in case.
Like if they do become good, we get first dibs. So it's a win-win, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is definitely. But I think I look at it in terms of like how many defenders play for a team that are close to the bottom of the league, sign for a team that are near the top of the league and actually do well. I can think of one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, that's the thing.
Some people would throw Van Dijk out there, but Southampton were relegation material when they had Van Dijk. So
like Europe level, yeah.
Exactly, they were mid-table Europe, weren't they then? But one. I mean, if you listen to my other half, I've mentioned before she's a Wolves fan, but she's always Dawson is possibly another, but he was always at a club that was fighting relegation, signs for Wolves, and he might be crucial to their backline now because he's a leader, but in terms of the quality, they have got better. So I've always thought of it as a centre-back. If you're playing for a team that's going to be fighting relegation, that kind of tells you your level, doesn't it? And we'll see how good Harbour Bellis is this year, because this is his highest position now, isn't it? It's his highest club he's been at, highest level. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah,
well, we'll see.
And we'll definitely do our prediction video in 2 weeks of stream in 2 weeks' time. I won't do it this week or next week because it's not quite there yet and too early, in my opinion. You've got 2 weeks for the team to see who they get in, but it's going to be an interesting one because isn't it straightforward? People think it is, that relegation battle. It's not straightforward. It's definitely a lot more.
I don't think it will be. There's going to be 5 or 6 teams fighting for 3 places.
Yeah. I reckon there's a couple that are probably we'll obviously go into it in 2 weeks' time, but who else get it brought in? But it's gonna be a very interesting season this year, definitely. But going back to the game, I mean, like I said, defensively wasn't the best, but again, I wasn't judging that at all. I'm not judging the defense. I think Simpson Pusey's another player that just needs to go out on loan somewhere, get experience. He's not good enough right now. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I think I've watched him a little bit. He's got a little bit about him, but he needs to get experience at a League One Championship level where he's going to be playing week in, week out to get that experience behind him. I think he will get that, but like how Bellis has done, Doyle have done, but it isn't going to be for us. And I'm looking else at other players. I think like Wilson Esperon for me needs to go because it's clear that we tried him like 2 or 3 years ago and he just hasn't got better, but he's got level still as it was when it was coming through. I know he's a left back, but he's not good enough to obviously play for us right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. Against Celtic, he was responsible for 2-3 goals, just being out of position.
Exactly.
It was just like really basic defending, just lack of awareness of where your winger is. Like you could blame Mbate for that as well, but a lot of it is Wilson Esperon being out of position, and it's just very basic fullback defending, isn't it? Like he's just not doing it.
No, exactly. And
like
I think
said,
as well,
he's been on loan for the last 3 seasons.
He's still saying the kind of player. I'm not being horrible, but I've tried watching the loan players when I can, and out of all the players we loaned out, he just isn't getting better. And I'm not saying he can't get better. He definitely can. Like you never know with players. Players can like bloom later on, but he's getting what? He's like what? 21, 22 now, I think. I'm wrong about that, but he's getting older past the wonder kid stage. And you got to start thinking you got to start getting better here. And clearly it won't be for us. Look, I wish it was, but we've got to be real here. This is a real channel where we're talking about factually and honestly. And best tables won't make it here. I hope they do make it well at other clubs and get better and better and improve themselves. But right now they aren't making it here. Doyle, if it wasn't for like centre backs we have right now, he'd probably have a chance. But Doyle, Harbour Bellis, they're too good to be on in the reserves. They need to be playing football for teams week in, week out.
Well, we've said it before, haven't we? We've got about 30 centre backs. We don't have space for any more.
Exactly. Yeah, we've got a plethora of centre backs. Storage house right now, centre backs right now. And we were just quite mags through the fact that we at one point we were like Otamendi and Fernandinho at the back at one point. So it's come a long way in a matter of 4 or 5 years. So I've done well there.
Don't remind me of Fernandinho at centre back.
Oh God, that season was a nightmare. Oh God,
we'll leave that in the past. We don't need to talk about it.
You're on about like pre-season and players that have done well and players that are coming through. What about Calvin Phillips? I've heard he's been doing all right.
Right. Look, I want him to.
I'm staying out on this.
Yeah, no. Personally, for me, I will work out. I want him to get better and get back in this team and give us a reason to keep him around. But I watched him against Milan, and I was baffled by what he was doing. Like at Leeds, had the awareness and foresight to get on the ball, ping it long, and find the players. Lost it completely. And the thing is, I know I'm not.
I have never. Sorry to jump in, but I have never, in my 25 years of watching football, I have never seen a player regress so much at one club. I have seen players sign for City that have been abysmal but they were abysmal before they signed. Joe is probably the prime example. He was shocking. We signed him and he was dire. Ben
No, but
Jarney.
Joe was supposed to be the next best thing, wasn't he? He was good when we.
He was, yeah. I remember that.
Ben Jarney was another. Ben Jarney was hopeless. We signed him. He scored against United, brilliant, and then he was shocking. He never scored a goal again.
Need to do.
That's what we need.
That's it.
So Calvin is like United.
But Calvin, before we signed Calvin was a good player, and he was crucial to England, and he was crucial to Leeds. He was a good player, and you signed him, and every City fan was like, "Do you know what? That's a decent signing, you know. English, strong. He's got ability on the ball."
No,
but I have never seen a player regress as much in 25 years of watching football. It is beyond belief how far backwards he has gone.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad to watch.
I didn't really like him when he was at Leeds. I thought he was overrated at Leeds. I thought he was overrated playing for England.
He was a little bit, but I
think he was a good signing.
People thought he was overrated, but I don't know. There was a player there, definitely. He wasn't. He was obviously Leeds' best player, and he was obviously one.
It wasn't a very high line, was it?
To be fair, Leeds weren't dreadful, were they? There was worse teams in the league, and they did have some players that were actually not bad. But Calvin was one of the ones that was the bigger one. But I honestly, it's sad, really.
I think the problem with Phillips is he's being played as a holding midfielder on his own. He's one of those players that he's not a Rodri, is he? He can't do it on his own. He needs to play with a Rodri. That's the only way he looks good, because he does the passing, Rodri does the hard work. That's why he looks so good for England, because he had Rice doing the rest of it.
So basically, Phillips does fuck all and everyone else does everything.
Yeah, he's like a Bellingham. He's good at doing nothing.
I'll give you that. You threw that in there, and that's just gone.
Okay. We'll move on before I get more vicious. No, but Calvin, for me, I want him to work out. It's not going to. It's his third year. It's his third year. He hasn't got going. Like at this point, it's like, look, just sack it off. Get money when you can from him, and get some. And just.
I'd rather get money for him.
To be fair to Phillips, he did have a long-term injury, like very early on.
Yeah, but even that's like.
I know. I'm giving him a bit of.
I know.
I get it.
He was out for a long time.
But it's up here
to get into it.
It's up
especially
here.
At a new club.
Yeah.
Up here, and the way to criticism, he didn't fight back. As in, he didn't say, "Yo, what? I can prove him wrong." Because Pep wanted to prove him wrong. He wanted him to prove him wrong, but proving him right more and more
Pep
each week.
wanted a reaction.
Yeah.
And he got nothing.
But instead, he just ran to Bielsa and cried, didn't he? That's not the response that Pep wants. I mean, like, we all feel for Phillips, because it's a tough situation when you're told you're not good enough, you're overweight, all that. It is hard to take.
But you got
to fight for it.
Yeah,
exactly. And
if you're worthy of it, that's all Pep wants him to do.
Yeah,
Pep wants him to do well. But I think even Pep's admitted defeat with that now.
Yeah,
it's almost.
It's thing.
Like
it's like you have to, because you got to protect the team fitness. Like
it is sad though.
It is sad, but.
Sad. Do you know what?
We want everyone to succeed at City, don't we? But
yeah,
sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yeah, I think
he's won the treble. What more can you ask for?
Exactly. I mean, Calvin was summed up by my dad. I think it was the back end of his first season, so everyone was like, well, "What is he? He's got next season, but this hasn't looked good. He's not like," and he slipped. I think it was against Chelsea. We'd already won the league. He started that game, didn't he? Yeah. He slipped on the ball right? And it was quite funny, actually, because obviously it was party mode anyway, and we were 1-0 up, we were going to win the league, and everyone kind of just laughed. And he laughed it off as well on the pitch. And my dad was just sat there and he went, "Oh, Calvin." And I just think that still, to this day, perfectly sums up Calvin Phillips.
Yeah,
because
it is.
He wants him to do well. I want him to do well, but he ain't going to do well now, is he?
No.
It's not going to work now.
It's just one of those. You need to take the loss and just accept defeat. Move on.
Exactly.
It didn't work.
It's done.
Just...
Get back to Leeds and good luck to him.
He's better than Leeds, isn't he? But just like hovering between mid-table, bottom table, that sort of.
Yeah,
but he went to West Ham and did that, and he was shocking again.
No, but West Ham, are a bit better than that, and
maybe the season before, yeah.
Look, I think for me, right? Look, I mean, what other players in play? I mean, we'll move on from it now. I mean, Nico O'Reilly's been getting minutes obviously as well, and he's been alright. But again, with him at the moment, I'm watching him. He's a very, very tall player, like 6'1", something like 6'2". I'm not sure.
Is that tall?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Not all of us are 6'5".
Not even 6'5".
Danny. No. Shout out, Danny. No one cares.
I'm 6'2".
No one cares, Danny. No one cares. I asked you a question and you just ignored it. Fair enough. Anyway. No.
Did you ask me a question? I missed that.
Yes, he asked you a question. This is great.
I said, I'm 6'2". How tall are you?
I'm 6'6".
Oh, right. Okay. I was going to say, you can't be less than 6'5".
Yeah. Right. Okay. The thing is, right, with some of the attacking players, I mean, O'Reilly's done okay, but I haven't really seen enough of him to really sort of comment really on how well he's done. Mackey's been pretty good. I've got to say, he's really impressed me. But again, with McAtee, I have to ask this: why on earth did we put him out for years when we could have given them this chance 2 years ago for a season? I don't know why we're doing it now. And it feels a little weird. I know we're thinking about it, but he was that good of a player 2 years ago. Why don't we give him, as like Foden did, around the squad, minutes around the squad, and then whatever? But it feels
weird.
It
was to do with Palmer?
Possibly.
Might have been.
Pep wanted to keep hold of Palmer, so he loaned out McAtee just to see what happens. And then obviously Palmer left, and now McAtee suddenly joining the first team again with no intention to loan him out. So I think it's probably to do with Palmer.
But didn't we loan him out after we sold Palmer?
Was it not? Didn't we loan him out before Palmer was sold? Was it?
I can't remember.
It was before the season started.
Well, Palmer was a last minute transfer, wasn't it? Palmer was a last minute transfer, like last day or something. Chelsea had been Yeah, so
we probably loaned McAtee with the intention to keep Palmer for the season, and then Palmer suddenly.
I'm sure they were thinking about it. I'm sure they were both on the final day.
I think McAtee was quite straightforward, wasn't it? Because he was already.
And I think McAtee was pretty much morning of the last day of the transfer because it was undecided what was going to happen to him. Obviously, Palmer was staying. No one knew about that then. And I'm pretty certain, correct me if I'm wrong, you might want to research it, but I'm thinking they both went on the same day. So McAtee was the morning of the transfer deadline, and then Palmer was like mid-afternoon. Because I can remember finishing work, and my mate texted me, "Have you seen the news?" I was going up to Wales to the caravan that night of the final day, and Palmer had, and I was in Tesco's, and my mate texted me, "Have you seen the news?" And I was like, "What news?" He was like, "Have a look. Look what Fab's just tweeted." So that would have been after 4 o'clock, the Palmer news.
Yeah, it was the 1st of September when he went on loan.
It was what?
It was the 1st of September when McAtee went on loan.
So they were, there you go then. So they were both deadline day transfers.
Well, that debunks that theory, doesn't it?
But no, you could be right, because if Palmer might not have been known about them.
No, but Palmer was a big money transfer, wasn't it? That just
Exactly,
doesn't happen out of nowhere.
So exactly. So in the morning of the September the 1st, McAtee's going on loan, Palmer's staying. But I know everyone says transfers take ages, and yes, they do. But everybody also knows that on transfer deadline day, clubs will whack in with a big money bid and try and rush it through, and then do the processes after. So the Palmer thing probably did happen after McAtee was confirmed, and therefore there was probably no recall clause on McAtee, so we couldn't pull out of that. Can't really turn down the deal for Palmer. So yeah.
Even because Martin's currently in America right now watching City. I think Barcelona is watching tonight. So he's a bit being in America right now, in Orlando right now. Look at us, fake. Yeah, I know, right? Someone
I don't even watch on the City app, mate. I'm not paying for that shit.
well, I will, because I want to watch games.
I'm paying for it just for these games, and then I'm cutting it off again.
We should get it free anyway. Season ticket holders and members should get it free.
Yeah, you should do.
Yeah,
we get nothing.
We get programs, don't we? So we should get
money.
Do you?
So.
Online, you do.
You get programs.
You can download them, can't you?
I never know. No.
You get it as like a PDF.
No.
Well, you can do.
You're platinum though, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be why then. I'm gold. I don't get anything. I never knew you could. How'd you download them?
I'm sure that was a thing.
Nah, I don't. No, I've never seen that. My dad is in my dad does a yearly subscription or 25 copies or whatever it is of the Backstage programs. He pays in bulk on a different website to see. It's one I sent him ages ago, and it's brilliant. They literally post it to him on the morning of the program. So on the morning of the program, on the morning of the game.
Oh and my God.
Yeah. But no, it's bollocks. We get nothing.
Apparently, but
I do agree we should get City TV as part of it.
Right. Anyway, enough about programs.
It was definitely a thing at some point.
Okay, whatever. At this point, I don't even know anymore. Anyway, nobody cares about the City. I've got where we were now. I've got where we actually know. Where was now? Programs. God's sake. Right. We'll start at a point and go from there. I blame both of you for that.
Yeah.
No, it was Martin's fault about Barcelona and Orlando.
Yeah, it was right. That's the game. I think for me, I would like to see him get an opportunity, but I don't know. It depends on how much games he'll get and whether or not it's too late. We're doing it now. Again, I'm not against players. I love seeing young players get opportunity, right? This guy isn't very much anymore. He's getting actually caught more towards the young player, not the wonder kid, the young player who's played a season. Like, you have to wonder, is he a reserve player or was he a squad player? This is what I'm concerned with for McAtee. Did we miss that boat years ago?
I don't know. Because what is he, 21?
I don't think it's too late, but a lot of our younger players are around that same age, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
And
I mean,
he's probably fighting for a place with Savio, if anything. But I don't think he's going to make it onto the bench very often.
Which is why I'm thinking, do we need to look at maybe selling him with a buyback clause? I know people don't want to hear that, but we missed the boat a little bit. We should have given a chance years ago. I know people are like, oh, we had the treble winning team, but that before we treble, he could at least squad more. I know it's if but should have. It's what I mean. I feel like for me, we missed the boat. Again, I might say, we haven't, but please tell me where he's going to play consistent minutes.
You He's not.
When we've
He's
got
not.
a fully fit squad, he's going to really struggle to get game time, which is why
Exactly.
Palmer left.
Exactly.
I was literally just going to say it's Palmer. It's why Palmer left. One, because he isn't good enough to play for City, and two, because he wasn't going to get game time. And if McAtee, I mean, he come out. I did see what he said, and he come out and he said, you know, I'm happy to just get minutes when I get minutes. I'm not fussed. Yeah, I'm not fussed about minutes. I just want to be part of the squad. Well,
how long that's going to last for?
Exactly.
Really?
How long? Yeah, I mean,
I
considering
think
for 2 years,
that's just PR, isn't it? If you're
Exactly.
employed at a club,
but
you
for
want
2
to do
years,
everything you can to stay employed. But then, if you do get shipped out on loan, you're going to say at the next club, "Oh, I'm really happy to be here. I hope it becomes permanent." It's just playing the game.
Yeah.
I think he wants to play more, but I think he knows he'll play more, which is why I think after this pre-season, he's going to go on to someone's going to bid over 35 million pounds for him because of English tax and quota, or probably less than that, depending on what we get for him. But someone's going to get him in this summer. I think someone like Ipswich or someone like that will probably bid for him.
I think that would be a good move for him. But I don't
imagine he went to someone like that and he had a season like Palmer.
It wouldn't.
I mean, him or Southampton, yeah.
I
can't see him anywhere else. Less stuff, but yeah, it's what I mean. I just don't
about 15
really
million, I think. 15.
Yeah, like that.
Million.
But because people are, I know people are big fans of him. I know a lot of people that I know on Twitter love him. I love him too. I love McAtee. I think he's a good player, but we got to be real here. We're bringing these players through, like Mika Hamilton is right now as well. Other players like that are coming through. They're playing a bit more than he did. Like Hamilton's actually played in Europe and got a goal, also got an assist against Milan friendly. So Hamilton's a good player, and so is Susaho as well, another player as well. We got to be real here. McAtee missed the opportunity when he should have got that opportunity 2 years ago.
I'm kind of inclined to agree with you a little bit because people have been talking about McAtee for a long time.
Exactly, and where's it got us? 2 seasons Sheffield United, where 1 year was brilliant, last year not so much. It was all right.
Yeah, but it was start. Yeah, it was brilliant in the Championship.
Yeah,
and I'm not being funny.
Does that not say more about Sheffield United's squad than it does about?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
If they're a struggling team, it's hard for one player to pull them out.
Look, I know you can't base your opinion and base what you think about how a player is of one person, but I can remember being at Wembley when we played Sheffield United, and I was walking through one at the station there, and I was chatting to a couple of Sheffield United fans, and they were like, "We're just happy to be here today." They were like, "You know, you'll absolutely amorous. You'll absolutely amorous, but." And we were just chatting, and I said, "What do you think about McAtee and Doyle?" Because of course they were our players then, both of them. And they said Doyle will make it, and he'll be a mid-table Premier League captain.
Yeah,
McAtee won't. And that was kind of surprising at the time because everyone was like, "Wow, McAtee's the real deal. He'll be the next Foden. Doyle, I'm not sure about." But look, you could look at it now, a year and a half later. And he's absolutely right so far.
Exactly.
You've got Doyle. I know it was only 12 million, but he signed for Wolves, and Wolves fans are saying he will be our cap. You know, a lot of Wolves fans are saying he will be our captain. He's a solid midfielder. We want him to play for us. And he's playing.
I'm not going to say that's wrong, but it is a different position.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. You can't base it off this, but he's right. McAtee's not getting anywhere and kind of stagnating, and we're talking about has he missed the opportunity 2 years ago, whereas Doyle is solidifying himself as a starting midfielder in a mid-table club, Premier League club.
Yeah, but
so what he said 18
on
months
to Wolves
ago
is arguably better than going on loan to Sheffield United.
Yeah,
you're more likely to succeed at Wolves because you've got the better players around you. You've been in an established Premier League team,
but he's getting the opportunity to do that. Whereas McAtee isn't.
It's true, but sometimes you don't choose the clubs that are going for you.
You can't choose. No, of course you can't. You can't. You
can only take what's in front of you.
Yeah, of course. But that's what I mean. Like you can't. base it on one person's just saying that. But I look back at it now 18 months later and I'm kind of like, do you know what? You might have hit the nail on the head with that. You might have been absolutely spot on about it. And then when they, a couple of fans I saw retweeting and saying about it and stuff and about Sheffield United signing him again, they were like, yeah, okay, but we'd rather have had Doyle again.
People also in the family want to go to a better team as well, to a better team. I was asking this, why is it there again? Well, surely at this point, it should be a higher team. I just feel like if someone's going back to the same team twice in a row, and they're not, and one year in the championship, my opponent, it's a bit like, I don't know. Yeah. I feel like for me, last year, he started off pretty well. They just faded. And I thought, what's going on there? I mean, look, people obviously are fans of him. I get, when you're a fan of a young player, you want them to do really well. Cool. Like, I love Bob because he's a Norwegian and I've got Norwegian heritage in my family. I want him to do well personally for myself. But Bob actually proving himself. He's getting games and playing in Europe, playing in big games, winning goals. He actually came into the team and stepped up. McAtee should show such us 2 years ago when he was coming through at a time that everyone was rating him really highly in the EDS team with the lap and that. The lap should be given more time, but they weren't given any time at all. Which is what I'm a bit annoyed at. The fact that I'm not saying there would have been any all top players, but when you aren't given a chance to prove yourself, it's frustrating because you think it's getting one reason to have a go. You never know what happens. So I think for me and McAtee, I think we got to say, all right, take the game from or enough to actually improve yourself. Go to another team that's actually going to use you properly. Play when your position you want to play in, and you'll start seeing the results of how good you are. Because for me, it ain't gonna happen there. Not anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's quite sad though. It
is sad, but we got to be real. We got to be real. People got to be real themselves. Who are watching on the
of course.
On right now. You've got to accept the fact that look, it might be a favorite young player right now. Because I've seen some people say he's a favorite young player, but the boat was missed. We missed the chance to give him that chance 2 years ago when he was coming through. He's had 2 years at the same team where he hasn't really done a lot more than they should have done. He needs to move on now to a team that they'll play week in, week out. Look, players like Mika Hamilton and players like Sissoko and other players like Jacob Wright, who are coming through and looking good themselves, they're still quite young. I reckon another year or so before we got to decide about them. But right now, they're still new to the team and playing a bit more of the season, pre-season, and probably play a bit more of the season as well. But they've got time on their hands. McAtee's 21, 22, to the point where you're asking him, right, are you going to play now? Or are you going to... Because I think for me, the age of 22, I'm thinking, right, this is the age where you've got to decide now. Are you going to make it here, or are you going to head off to someone else? It sounds harsh, but because of how good we are now, the standards are high. Even player. I'm sorry if I'm a bit harsh. I'm sorry if I'm a bit harsh, but you got to be real about young players. Some of them are good enough, like Bob.
Yeah, usually you already know before 22. Like if you look at players like Rooney or Foden, you knew when they were 17, 18, they were going to be class players. But with some of these players, you just can't see it. With Bob, you can see potential there. He's definitely showing it. But
McAtee,
with McAtee, he should have started breaking into the team a bit by now.
He should, yeah. And so,
same with Wilson Esbrand and Betty. They're all the similar age, and they're just not going to get the game time as they say. And you might have weaker options for loans, but just take it.
Yeah, I mean, look, we'll move on to other players and team. But I mean, I'm obviously in the Milan game. Obviously, we lost 3-2 as well. I mean, obviously, before the official Celtic game, I mean, obviously the goals were from Oscar Bobb. Nice goal. Haaland actually pretty good as well. I mean, Haaland so far has been looking a lot better than he has been before. I know it's pre-season, but while I'm watching his movement, it's definitely a lot better. The header he got, obviously the little like from Bob found him and he put it in. He's obviously finding his feet again, which is good. So hopefully that means next season we'll have the old Haaland back. But also
Well, he was
Perone,
playing with an injury, wasn't he, last season?
he was, but whereas now
And
he's fit now.
He looks happier. He looks fitter. And he's publicly said he's had a longer rest this summer, hasn't he? For the first time in 5 years.
He looks good.
So he's healthier. He's happier. It's going to be massive for his season.
But Perone is a player that's been discussed, and I from what I've heard, he did pretty well out in Spain. But I've got to ask this: when's he going to play? He got a decent goal at Celtic, but again, the question must be asked. They don't want to answer certain players. Is he going to play enough this season?
Who are we on about again? Sorry, you cut out.
Perone.
Perone, right, okay, yeah.
He's not a bad player. He's decent.
Don't know enough about. I really don't. I don't know enough. I've not seen him enough to know. I just associate Perone with beer. So if he's anything like the beer, he's not going to be bad, is he?
I didn't know you liked beer.
Can you tell?
Big up Tone. Tone will be on Secret TV in about 10 or so minutes. So if you're after this stream, please head over there and support Luke and that and Tone. But we'll also let later on. No, for me, at the moment, I'm just. Pereira's not a bad player. I think he's got potential again, but you got to ask this, especially with younger players as well. He's getting a bit older himself now. I'd say he's like 23 or something like that. But is he going to play enough games to get in the team? When you've already got Nunes, Kovacic, you got Rodri, you got Phillips. But I mean, let's say Phillips is gone and put him back in at Perone. Is he going to play enough games to get the game time he needs to actually get into this team? I don't think he will. He's not a bad player. He has some potential behind him, but I don't see. But like McAsee, I still want to score a goal in pre-season, but you can do it every week, or when you're on, make an impact. And that's about. Are you gonna bring something to this team that's different to what other players offer? I don't think I don't think he offers that personally. Obviously, I can be wrong, but I don't see it from what I've seen so far. If that makes sense. I don't know about you, Danny, but
I haven't really seen enough of him to make my mind up yet. I can't really comment either way.
No, I want to give him more opportunity.
I don't watch La Liga, so I didn't watch him last season. I don't know how he did. I don't know anything about him. Couldn't even tell you what position he played.
Yeah, it's what I mean. Like, I think
took his goal well, to be fair to him.
Oh yeah. I mean, both games have really shown for me, right, that there are some good players in our squad, like younger players as well that are coming through. Like I like Jacob Wright. He's like a good young player coming through right now as a midfielder. But the thing is, he needs a bit more time to show himself. But obviously, I had this year, I can sort of get more into the team this year. But I think if I'm taking anything away from the first two games so far and go into obviously tonight's game against Barcelona, Oscar Bobb's the real deal. He is the real deal. Like, I just think I've watched enough of him now of the last year and going into this season now, he's getting better and better each game. I don't care.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's getting confidence, and he's playing with Haaland, and the link up together for Norway and the City. You're starting to see it. He's getting confident. He knows where he'll be. The way he's dribbling past players left, right, centre. It's just when that had that player Mahrez who could do that level of skill and dribbling, and Mahrez was awesome.
Yeah, he's very similar to how Mahrez used to play. You're right there.
He is. I think some of
his movement against Milan was just incredible, and in the last two games, his assists have been brilliant as well. Bob's really turning it on, and this season he's going to have a really good opportunity to get into the team.
Yeah, I think he is as well. I said it at the start.
Because he's a good dribbler, but he's got the end product, so he's got a bit more than Doku there.
He does actually.
I think.
Well, he does a little bit. Doku's quite rapid and a bit more of that. I think better than Bob. If Doku has goals to his game, he'll be one of the best players in the world. He will. But again, he's young. He'll get better and better. Look, we've got some wingers.
They're a similar age, aren't they?
Yeah,
Bob's about younger, I think. So younger, I think. Bobby's 20 years old. And all right, is it?
Bob's 20, yeah. So yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
Doku's 21. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got some young wingers there. Like also Savio's obviously young as well. We've good wingers that are going to get better and better, and we've got them at a good age where they're going to get better and better the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
That's why you got to look at it. Our winger options are sorted for me.
Yeah.
They're all sorted now. I don't care about wingers anymore. Even Hamilton can do a job if need be off the bench. So 4 wingers there. I want to see Jack more midfield. I think Jack.
We're forgetting Bernardo can play on the wing.
Exactly.
I don't think
but
he's good on there though.
No, we got 4.
Depending on what happens with Alvarez, Alvarez can do a shift on the wing as well.
Would you sell Alvarez?
I wouldn't. But if he wants to leave, then yeah.
If he wants to leave and money's right, that matches his value. Yeah. However,
it needs to be about 85, 90 million at least.
It can't be any less than that. If
Really?
we sell for like 70 million, I have to wonder why. Because the striker market's insane. Why do we have to sell players for cheap?
Do you know what?
Yes.
I'm not going to say what I was going to, because that's completely, I'm just completely, totally opposite to that.
No, we know what you're going to say. You don't need to.
Shut up.
No, I honestly, I was literally going to say I would take 70 million. But now you feel like I wouldn't at all.
So.
But I was like, you said that, and I was like, oh, okay. I don't know if I could say it now.
No, but if you look at what Alvarez has won and what he's contributed to both City and Argentina in those trophies, and he's young, he plays for
I wouldn't sell him.
The best international team in the world, technically.
I can't blame him for wanting to go.
Worth a lot.
I can't blame him for wanting to. Personally, I think he'll stay this season, but I think next summer he'll probably go. The reason being is because he ain't going to be on the bench for Haaland. Because when he's that good a player to be starting week in, week out for another team. That's the thing. It's great. It's great having 2. Well, Haaland's obviously better than him. 2 quality strikers to rotate. But as we know itself, it ain't going to last forever. Because 1 minute I'll be asking, can more game time, please? And then we can't because Haaland's playing so well.
He only signed a new contract 4 months ago.
Is what I don't think he'll leave. So I think what he'll do.
Contracts don't really mean anything. Think about right Phillips.
No, but also look at like this as well with talks. Doesn't mean he wants to leave. Talks mean
exactly.
He wants to have a chat with Pep, and he has a right to have a chat with Pep about game time because he's not a player. I think he deserves a bit more. Therefore, I think we need to start looking at playing him a lot more in some games and rotating him Haaland because look, Haaland will have to do the same thing. Haaland's an elite level striker. We've got a team here, and Haaland's part of the team, so he'll obviously accept that something he might be on the bench sometimes every now and again. But he'll be fine with that because he's part of the team. But he'll play most of the games. So you've got to look like this. We got to start looking at the moment, obviously, because right now in terms of strikers in our academy, apart from maybe Ndala, that's it. So if the striker wants to leave, why buy another one? So it's kind of like.
And you ain't going to get another one for a reasonable price.
Oh, God, you're not. No, not in the current market. No. So
we got someone with Alvarez's quality or better, wouldn't we?
Yeah. Because we got him for
those
a
options
fantastic.
Are very limited.
Like, we got him at a point where he was about to hit his peak, and we got him for such a good price. A bargain we got him for.
But you're not going to get anyone of Alvarez's level.
No.
Well, you could if you're lucky, but most of the time you won't. I mean, Echeverry's a good player, but he's very young. I mean, and he's right now actually pretty well now for 83s in the Olympics right now. I think,
Is he playing for Argentina?
Yeah, and scored today. Scored. So
Okay.
he's a player. So we're not like out of options, but it's kind of like if we're going to be selling players, we've got to sell them for a good price.
Yeah.
So the fact the club aren't backing down is brilliant. It means that Edison ain't leaving unless you pay the money for him. If you pay the money for him, he wants to go. All right, ain't nice, but fair enough. The club have got a backbone finally. After all these years, they're finally gonna. I'm still annoyed that Laporte for that price he went to Saudi. We should got a lot more than that for a player of his quality. That's another. That's how. Yeah, but I'm at the club have got out the game in terms of demanding better fees for players. That's brilliant.
That's what a contract is for. So it might not mean anything in terms of, oh, he's staying, he's doing this, he's doing that, but that's what a contract is for, because it gives the club the leeway to say, no, you're not going anywhere. Unless someone pays the money to buy you out of this contract, you ain't leaving. And that's where the
clubs do it all the time. Like Grealish signed a new contract to get the 100 million clause, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like Phillips signed a new contract to get City a bit of money and pull us out of the shit.
Exactly.
Clubs are always doing it. It's fighting in on players just to up the value a little bit more.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's the way it works. If he wants to go, let him. But we would need to sign someone. That's the issue.
Yeah. Now, from what I saw what Tone put out yesterday today, I think he said that he thinks that we'll have one more player. And I agree. If no one else goes, it'll be one more player and that'll be it. I think that's all we really need, really. Maybe two, but I'll be honest with you, when you look at the current squad, I'm like, where are you going to fit Liverpool's team right now?
Yeah,
like, defensively, we're fine. Keepers, unless someone leaves, fine. Midfielders, we've got a platform centre. The attack, we're fine. It's kind of like, to anyone who wants players right now, I have to ask, where? Like,
I still think we need a backup for Walker. For Walker. If Alvarez leaves, then a replacement for Alvarez. And
a backup for Rodri.
Maybe backup for Rodri, maybe a backup for De Bruyne. But it's not first team players that we need. It's squad players.
Backups.
But squad players that are good enough to fill in, not like subpar players from the bottom half of the table.
I'm quite glad that those rumours of Kovacic leaving have gone quiet.
Yeah,
I don't want him to leave because I thought he was one of our better players last
year.
Yeah. Not yet.
He's got a good opportunity next season to step up.
Yeah, I think next summer is the summer where players will go. For me, next summer, if Pep does sign a new deal, I think he'll be here for longer than this year and next year and the year after. I think it'll be a bit longer, personally. The way he's sort of acting, the way he's being, it makes me a lot happier. I know it's Pep, but he looks happy.
I have the feeling he's going to sign
that contract, Baldy.
Yeah. Ironically, come from you. But no, I just think for me, next summer's the summer I'm like, right, here we go. There's going to leave. Not everyone, but I reckon 2 or 3 go leave next summer. I think De Bruyne will go end next season. I think this is De Bruyne's last season for us. I hope it's not. I think next summer you're getting the Musiala next summer.
Of course, next summer there's no Euros, there's no World Cup, there's no Olympics, there's nothing. It's literally a free summer.
The Club World Cup.
Nonsense. So
it's not a free summer.
Yeah, but it's not like it's no different to playing the friendlies we are now. There's just a few more of them. It's not like it's a relentless European competition.
Rodri's finished. He is finished. Oh God!
I think next season's going to be Rodri's last season. He's just going to call it a day.
He could end up playing 100 games next season.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
God. He's already got the bags under his eyes. He can't do it anymore.
Just by a cryogenic freezing pod. There you go. It's where you live now. You're in cryostasis for about a week. And the next game, when we get out, I would just. This is why.
Just put
this
him
is
in
why,
the healing water for a week
Yeah.
until the next game.
I just feel like for me, this season especially, the backup players have got to step up. I'm not bothered at all about who we bring in. The players who are else in the midfield, like Nunes and Kovacic, have got to step up.
Yeah.
We can't keep doing it. Like one
Grealish
man
as well. All of them.
Yeah, they've all got to do it.
Haaland.
They're
All of
different
them.
positions,
Rodri-
though, aren't they?
Yeah,
I know,
they're
but
all different positions. But what we're trying
the
to say is
midfield,
every single one of
midfield.
them has to step up again and go
Yeah, of course
again
they
and
do.
be hungry. Look how
That's what
hungry Haaland
Pep
and
says it
Grealish
every
look in
season,
training
doesn't
now.
he? He says, no matter what you did last season, forget
Don't
it.
matter. Don't
Start
matter.
afresh,
Exactly.
go again. We do it again.
Yeah. It's what I
And we
said
want
last
the
week,
Champions
innit?
League back.
Yeah.
Now,
Let's be
now
the
if you
first
can-
to win it in the new format.
Oh, let's do it. Yeah, absolutely. Now the thing is, he made a comment recently about starting slow. Now, the reaction to that was a bit like crazy. To me, I was like, not going to surprise me. However, there is a caveat to that saying. If we don't see any improvement through each game, I'm not even asking for an insane level performance. I'm asking for every game we get better and better and grow into the season.
Yeah.
If we aren't seeing that, then you'll be critical. Because I don't want people on Twitter or social media having to go at us particularly and calling out performance. Because I'm saying this right now, I don't mind losing unless I see effort.
Yeah,
Effort isn't there, I will put it out. Because a football result can happen to any. A penalty can go against you. It is what it is. We're used to it as fans. Be it for England, City, whatever, doesn't matter. We're used to it. The problem is if the players don't put performances in, then we will call it out. And if you don't like it, said before, tough. Because people are not going to lie to you. I don't care if it sounds harsh, but this is the reality people need to remember. You want negativity is only when you're having to go at players, even when you actually win a game.
Yeah,
a bit different. But this is why I think anyone who's angry at us, especially starting slow. Well, first off, you've got to remember they're not in just us starting slow. Everyone else, Arsenal probably did the same as us because all those signs so far is Calafiori, who didn't really need anyway. For me personally, they haven't got a striker coming in. When you need a striker, they haven't got another wing coming in, so they've got the exact same team apart from one defender, and that's what they've got in so far. United have got a player in, and now he's injured. So, hilarious. Like, be honest here, right? Most of our competition haven't really improved. Really, it's kind of apart from maybe like even Villa have lost the yard, which is quite a surprise. That's a big loss for Villa. Him going.
And
so,
what's the other fella? I mentioned
Douglas Luiz.
Douglas Luiz. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I've seen that about Couto. Yeah, see, to me with Couto, before we carry on, Couto to Dortmund, I'm fine with that because I think for me, if we were going to play him, he'd have played by now.
25 million. That's fab. Bloody hell.
Apparently that's minimum though with add-on. So apparently it's about 35 million overall, which is actually a good deal for him, I'd say. But then I still think for me, yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's been confirmed. Romano's confirmed is happening. So don't get me wrong, people will be upset they haven't given him a go. But if he's good enough, he'd be in the squad right now. He'd probably be playing right now.
Yeah,
if he was in the plans, we'd have seen him.
Yeah, he'd be in the, he'd be there or thereabouts in USA, wouldn't he? And he's not. So, I mean, well, he's Brazilian, isn't he? So,
he's not a bad player. Unfortunately, he's not a bad player for Girona. He's got a lot of potential behind him. But again, you have to wonder. Like, I think we're looking at Frimpong. If we're being real, when Walker goes, I think Frimpong's who we're looking to bring in to replace him. And I know people go about the defensive issues. Again, a player can learn to defend better. I think
we need a sponsorship from Frimpong at this point.
Yeah, I do every week now. From probably say, mate, it happens, man. Like finally get talked about. Well, personally, I
Tune
like
in next week for the next chapter of the Frimpong saga.
it never ends. We're still in 2 years' time. We still haven't joined.
Hey, we still haven't signed that Isco yet. What's happening with him? Is that happening or what?
Apparently, it's still on the cards. Apparently, still.
I just saw
Still.
a tweet that Kaka's almost done.
Jesus.
He'd have been brilliant for us. Anyway,
He'd have been better for us than he was for Madrid. Let's just say that.
Trust me, we'll do a stream on that. The players that we could have got, because apparently Hazard was close as well, which is annoying.
Van Persie,
That
that's
was-
another one.
Yeah, mate, I wish we had Van Persie and Aguero in our team. They've been brilliant. I asked
That's
that.
the biggest. Hang on.
Instead of Van Persie and Hazard, we got Scott Sinclair and Rodwell.
Yeah.
If we had both of them,
Well, you're missing who we could have had, but we kind of almost literally said we walked away from it because it
Dybala.
would have been too much money. No,
Ronaldo.
not that. Better than that. Messi.
Mourinho?
Oh yeah, Messi.
Oh,
that happened
not
a
Messi.
few times.
Oh God, I hate that. Honestly, I was angry. That would have happened. That would have happened.
That could
We
have
got-
happened.
Apparently, he
Imagine-
did want to come, but Pep said no at
Yeah.
one point.
Yeah, exactly.
Both years he wanted to go, he was asking for City, not PSG. PSG
Yeah.
wasn't even thinking about, but because we got. It's why it's after one day. If we didn't get Jack in when we did, and we waited, and we were still in the process of it, I reckon we got Messi in instead. Not saying
Yeah,
I don't want Jack, but it makes you wonder. Well, we got Messi instead. It doesn't matter anyway. But the point's still.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still like.
Yeah, that's what I
if.
mean. There's a lot of players we haven't signed that we could easily have signed, and we could pretty much make a squad out of it.
Mate, imagine Messi.
Well, you
imagine
could do
Messi.
that for any team, can't you?
Imagine Haaland and Messi, De Bruyne in one team. That's illegal. It's over. It's going to be like 7-8. You're not going to get finished, mate. It's like 10-0. Oh God, mate! Imagine the compilations of bloody video would have had of De Bruyne finding Messi, Brest finding De Bruyne, and Haaland. It'd been ridiculous.
It'd been absolutely insane.
Look,
We almost
don't
got
be wrong.
Neymar as well, didn't we?
Neymar.
See, Neymar would look. I'm not Neymar now, but the one at Santos was above as a player. He was one of the best players in the world in position. And it's a shame because there's a man we're thinking Neymar. For me, one of the best players I've seen from Brazil in a long time. And it's a real shame how his injuries have gone. Because I think if he had stayed at Barcelona or gone to someone like us, or something like that, he'd have been still at the level. I think PSG was the wrong move for him. The complete wrong ruined his career for me. I did.
But that was the signing that changed everything, wasn't it?
It did.
It just
220
ruins
million.
everyone's career, doesn't it, when they go to PSG? It's just a dead end.
Well, look at Mbappe. He's finally got out of them. I was like, why are you still in the first place? I know it's his boy club, but why? You knew
Because
it was
they
over.
gave him
That's
too
like-
much. Gave him too much money, too much free reign, too much control. That's what killed Neymar off, really, isn't it? Because Mbappe got so much.
Right. What we'll do, we'll finish off. Do you think we'll sign anyone else this way? Just be real.
Yeah, I do.
Well-
I think we've just got to be a little bit more patient. I think I think there'll be one more. Maybe not so much like a worldy of a signing,
No.
but I think there'll be someone that you'll sit back and you'll think, "Oh, do you know what? That's a good signing." That.
Yeah.
I don't want an unknown player. I don't.
No, it won't be.
I don't think we need a first team player. We need a strong bench player. I think mostly
Because
as backup to Rodri.
yeah,
Mhm.
I think
You use Phillips as a part of the exchange or something.
Well, see, if Bruno Guimaraes was obviously he's technically still available. If we can Phillips a deal for him, that'd be brilliant. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, Newcastle. Oh, you never know. You never know what deal you can get out of that. But I just think, I don't see people who were asking for a massive window. I thought not. I just have a feeling it would be this.
Next year, maybe. This year, no.
Next year, summer. I mean, I
I
reckon.
think people are expecting too much for next
Yeah.
summer. Like
It won't be like a 5-player in.
we're expecting answers to Pep, Walker, De Bruyne.
No,
players coming
that's
in,
it. Years.
So many players going out. It's not going to be so dramatic as that.
No,
I think it's just going to be a case of there'll be
It's not
more
going to
answers.
depend on Pep either. If Pep leaves, we're still going to bring these players in. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
I hope so.
So, yeah,
I hope so.
I think for me,
we're not just going to drop off the radar, are we? We're still
no, but who? No, of course not. But I mean, if you use Liverpool for an example, who would you rather play for, Jurgen Klopp or Arne Slot?
Klopp.
There you go.
Well,
so it's the same with City.
It's still Liverpool, isn't it? They have the pull. United still have the pull, and they're irrelevant now.
You say that, but Liverpool so far signed no one. They're the only European team that signed no one yet, which is for me surprising.
Yeah,
which is why I think Liverpool for me under FSG are not going to be a convincing rival.
Exactly.
I think even their fans know that. I know a couple of people who are Liverpool fans. They've said something. They say like until we get a better ownership in, not Americans and someone like who's got a bit of backbone behind them, they're just there for the money. They'll be there. Yeah. Arsenal the exact same. Newcastle for me, once the rules of police stop being such arseholes, they'll be up there. I've always said Newcastle aren't that far away, but they need to be allowed to spend money. They need to be allowed to do it. I think they will be. Give it.
Well, you need United, Liverpool, and Arsenal's permission to spend. You don't know
that.
Yeah. Well,
but you said they were irrelevant.
Well, they are relevant, but for me,
money talks, doesn't it? If you're American.
Yeah, that's the issue for me. I'm not American billionaires, but their way of doing things more like business, more actually is winning stuff. Whereas if you look at the Middle East mentality, they want to win. They want to win. Even like this country want to win. Like it's all like for some reason the American style. I'm gonna go. Anyone who's American, like Snowy Boys, or anyone in the chat who's of American and watch us every week. I think it's the same. Like I watch NFL and NBA. It's the exact same thing. A very few number of owners in those leagues actually want to actually compete rather than money. That's
all about the money.
Yeah, it's all about bringing in the money. It's not. They don't care if they don't win or not. They just want to be at the top, so they make the money.
Yeah,
exactly. And when those three teams finally get bought by big ownerships, then we can say, all right, okay, they're serious. Until then, I'm not going to give a toss about them because we got an owner wants to win. Newcastle owner wants to win, but obviously they know where they are right now. But they'll be there in a few years' time, like we will at some point. You got to look at it. What Villa as well. Villa, I think they want to win, but they're still a little bit behind where they want to be. But Chelsea are just a mess. That's a whole different point. It's Chelsea.
They won't let Villa win anything. They're making Villa sell their best players. They're not going to be allowed to even get close to winning anything.
I'll be honest here. I think we'll lead again. The reason being is I can't see anyone coming close because the reason why Arsenal have not kicked on. Calafiori is a good player, but he's not what he needed. If they got Osimhen in, all right, it's you having a go. But when you look at the rivals we've got right now, none of them have really improved. Really, I know we haven't done it, but Savio,
everybody's sort of going through a rebuild, aren't they?
Whereas
we're still solid. We're just going to be business as usual, but everyone else is just sort of still trying to get up to our level. Liverpool is going to be a bit of a tough season, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah. No, look, I mean...
United. Spurs, I think Spurs will be better next season.
Yeah.
Arsenal, if they sign a striker, if Osimhen goes to Arsenal, that would be a really good title.
Yeah. Look, we'll do our prediction video, obviously 2 weeks' time, and obviously after winter closes as well in December. But I think what we'll do is bring it up to the end now. I think, look, obviously, we've got Barcelona tonight, Chelsea as well on the weekend. And after that, we're back in the UK. Got the Shield that no one cares about, but it's a day out, I guess, if you want to go. And they're at Chelsea away, which Alex will be at.
I'll be there. Come say hello if you see me.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you think a few people saying hello to you. Some people haven't got you for certain things.
Don't
I
hold
understand.
back.
People having a go at me. There's a surprise.
But yeah, look, that's on a video in itself. That is
Being bold.
probably that's probably the issue. But to everyone who watched the stream today, thank you very much for watching. I'll say it hasn't been a massive month. It's been more of just a chat about the games more than anything. We're getting close to season starting, so eventually we will have more to talk about, a bit more about the games, more about the players. We are getting closer each week. Next week we're more about the Barcelona and the Chelsea games. Obviously, a little bit look at the United game of the weekend next week, and then the week after that, our prediction video comes up, our prediction team, and then obviously I'll look ahead of what's to come. And hopefully, in that time, we'll have a bit of news about transfers. At the moment, it's still a bit dead. It's still pretty dead still.
Yeah.
But to everyone, but to everyone obviously watching right now, thanks for watching the video. Thanks, Alexander, always for obviously tuning in. Obviously, I was being here and
cheers, guys.
Chat about the worlds. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday for episode 21.
Thank you. See you later.